following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, this is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. Today's Bible study, vaccine cancers. Today on Hardcore. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them radio programs on, particularly if somebody had one of those vaccines? I don't care which one they had, one of the four. You need to hear this story now. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. Go to the website, hardcorechristianity.com. You'll notice we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific and Arizona time. Both those broadcasts are live on our streaming channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. On the website, you can sign up for our free seminars or our deliverance training classes. If you need a religious exemption to the upcoming monkeypox vaccine, they're at it again. Send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I'll send you out the exemption immediately. If you know someone who needs to be delivered or healed and can't come to the Deliverance Center, send me an email. I'll send you out the miracle list, a step-by-step guide to healing and deliverance that works 100% of the time. Don't forget our incredible Zoom deliverance and healing service every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific and Arizona time. Live, 6 p.m. Wednesday nights. You wouldn't believe the number of people getting healed and delivered on that Zoom broadcast. I will see you there. Brother Rick and the ministry team will also be there. Vaccine cancers. Oh my God. This is Death Week on hardcorechristianity.com. We are having a vaccine deliverance and healing service August 26th at 7 p.m. Do not miss that service if you took the vaccine. A researcher named Brian Shilevy recently wrote an article, and I got a hold of it, and I could not believe my eyes. My jaw hit the floor. He checked the CDC's Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. It's called VAERS. He discovered that there was an 11,000% increase in cancer reports from people who took the vaccines compared with all FDA-approved vaccines over the last 30 years. You didn't hear me, did you? All the adverse effects of vaccines, all vaccines, every one of them. I had a rack of them when I was a kid. You know, I'm almost 70 years old. I'm an older person, obviously. I look young. I look great, but I'm old. And when I was young, I had all kinds of vaccines. They made you take them. We took them in school, man. It was vaccine day at school. I can't remember if it was kindergarten or first grade, but man, everybody's sitting around crying. They're just jabbing every kid they could get their hands on. We got every kind of vaccine you could imagine. Measles, mumps. I mean, I got the whole rack of them. Over the last 30 years, for all vaccines given to human beings in the United States over the last 30 years, there was an increase in side effects compared to the COVID vaccines of 11,000%. 11,000%. Can you imagine that? Listen to this. He found that there were 837 cases of cancer, including 88 deaths, 66 permanent disabilities, and 104 life-threatening events since the vaccines came out in December of 2020. Are you listening to me? Can you imagine that? Over the previous 30 years, he only found 140 cases of cancer after receiving a vaccine, any kind of vaccine. All the vaccines. Over 30 years. But over the last 20 months of his research, just the last 20 months, he found 837 cases of cancer after taking the COVID vaccine. What'd you say? I didn't hear you. Yeah. The situation is shocking. Here's the bottom line on this vaccine, folks. This thing reduces your immune system's ability to fight off sickness. It's what they call AIDS. Now, this Shahavi guy, his organization is located in Texas. And he made some other interesting research notes in this article. And he took a look at young people from age from age 12 to their 20s. And noticed a dramatic increase in cancer in kids who took the vaccine and young adults who took it. In addition, last October, a Swedish lab study found that the spike protein associated with the COVID and the vaccines enters the nucleus of the cells, and it significantly interferes with DNA damage repair functions. This is compromising a person's adaptive immunity and perhaps encouraging the formation of cancer cells. In March 2021, a board-certified pathologist named Dr. Ryan Cole did a report where he was explaining that he was seeing a massive increase in numerous autoimmune diseases and cancers in patients who took the vaccines. In his article, I have it right here. It says, quote, "Since January 1st in the laboratory, I'm seeing a 20 times increase in cancers over what I see on an annual basis. Post-vaccine, what we are seeing is a drop in your killer T cells that keep all the other viruses in check, leaving the patient susceptible to a variety of illnesses." Can you believe that? Well, I'm not sure I can believe it, but in my experience, based on my research, I think this is real. I truly do. Not to mention the radio show I did a couple of days ago about the cancer that has dramatically increased in the military. They've mandatorized the military vaccine. 97% of the people in the military, there's 6 million people there, they've all been vaccinated. And the result was 279% increase in miscarriages, 2,200% increase hypertension. Nervous system diseases, over 1,000% increase. Cancers, 296% increase. This is in the military. If you can imagine that. VAERS recently released data on July 29th of 2022 showing that over 1.3 million people had an adverse reaction to one of the vaccines. It included 30,000 deaths, 248,000 serious injuries. All this occurred between December 14th, 2020 and July 22nd, 2022. No other vaccine ever in the United States has anything even close to this. They also noted in their report there were 56,000 permanent disabilities. 51,000 cases of myocarditis and pericarditis. 14,000 cases of, oh, this is a blast, shingles. I can't wait for that. Now remember, the VAERS system is based on voluntary reporting. This doesn't even include it all. This doesn't include all the cases that were not reported. They did not report them. I'll share one last thing with you. In 2010, Harvard did a study with HHS. They said that fewer than 1% of the vaccine's adverse events are being reported to VAERS. Connaught Laboratories calculated that at least a 50-fold underreporting of adverse events were being given to VAERS. Can you imagine that? My God. This thing is far worse and far more sinister than any of us realized. This vaccine was a deliberate, that's why they mandated it, a deliberate attempt to depopulation of America. They want to cut down the populations of the United States. They feel there's too many people living here. They want them dead, and particularly the middle class. They want to replace them with cheap labor from South America. They are now, at this moment, hauling in hundreds of thousands of people from South America to replace the dying Americans who took the vaccine. That's why they don't require the illegal immigrants to have the vaccine, because they don't want them dead. They need them for cheap labor. The billionaires, the multimillionaires, the people that run the country need cheap labor. Friend, if you had anything to do with a vaccine, you can be healed and delivered. The Holy Ghost is far more powerful than a COVID-19 vaccine. 602-636-5800. August 26th, Friday night at 7 o'clock. Do not miss that service. If you had anything to do with a COVID-19 vaccine, this thing is screaming at us. You know what it's screaming? You know what he's saying? Hell is coming to breakfast. August 26th, Friday. See you there.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.